Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, Sewing a Little. In today's video, we bring you a transformation of two bandanas. What we did is that we transformed the two bandanas into a beautiful crop top, and for this crop top, as you can see, it's a very unique design, but you can use adjustable straps or you can just measure your desired straps and just sew it in the top. It will look as beautiful, and the back does have an elastic, so it is going to be a lot more comfortable. But either way, remember that you can transform the pattern into your liking. Again, this is a level 1 tutorial, so it's going to be very easy for beginner sewists. Without further ado, let's get started with the tutorial. We will start with the cutting materials. For the Glee crop top, we are going to convert two bandanas. We will be needing two. These cost us $1 each. You can use pins or weights, the ones that you prefer, scissors to be able to mark the notches, a rotary cutter, and the pattern. The direct link is down below in the description box. Firstly, we are going to fold the bandana over itself, and here we will be placing the pattern. Again, you can use pins or weights so you don't slide the pieces out of place. From this piece, we will be cutting two. We will mark the corresponding notches indicated in the pattern. We will already have the first piece cut. Now we will cut the second. This pattern is size 8. If you want us to scale the pieces and make other sizes, you can let us know and we will definitely do so. Now we will cut the back part. We will only need one of this piece. Now we are going to cut the straps with the fabric that we have left to the length that it gives us. We are going to fold the fabric at a 45-degree angle like so. From this, we are going to cut two straps. In the pattern, you will have the length that we obtained. For the strap in size small, we are going to cut two of 2 inches by 17. We clean the ends, and now we will have the straps. As you can see, we're still left with a little bit of fabric left over. You will see soon in the channel what we are going to do with these straps of fabric. We are also going to be occupying, equal to the bias, 2 little pieces of 2 inches by 1.5. This would be for the loop of the straps. Once we finish cutting, these are the pieces that we should have. 2 fronts, 1 back, 2 straps of 17 by 2 inches, and 2 pieces of 2 inches by 1.5. We will also need 2 elastics for the back of the top, cut to 14 inches. This is optional, but we will be using extensions for the straps. But if you want, you can measure the straps and adjust them to your liking. And now, let's get sewing! Now we are going to start the blouse by first forming the straps. We are going to fold the strap over itself, and we are going to be sewing the entire strap until the end with a seam allowance of 1/4 inch. Now we are going to turn it inside out. For this, you can help yourself with a safety pin. We simply pinch, we put the pin inside the strap, and we start to turn. We'll be helping the fabric with our fingers as we go. We will do the same with the other loop. Now we iron. To assemble the strap, we introduce the loop by the extension, then we introduce it again, we fold it over itself, and we start sewing. Now we are going to introduce the hoop here. We introduce the strap here again, and then we introduce it in the buckle. The strap should look like this, and the loop would go here. We will do the same with the other strap. When we have the straps ready, we reserve them for later. Now we are going to prepare the back of the top. Let's make a tunnel. For this, we fold the fabric over itself twice this way. In our case, we are taking a little fabric, approximately 1/4 inch, because we made the pattern very restricted so that we could reach just the 2 bands. Then we fold it to the width of the elastic that we are going to use, which in our case is 1/4, but we are going to fold a little more, which would be 3/8, so that the elastic is not so tight inside. We will do the same all around. We are going to sew along the entire edge. These measurements will be marked on the pattern. Here we are marking with a tailor's chalk where we want the straps, but again, this will already be indicated in the pattern. These notches to place the strap on will be at the same distance. Here we are sewing the tunnel through where we are going to pass the elastic, as close to the edge as possible. When we get to where the straps go, we are going to insert the strap there and we finish sewing until the end. We already hemmed the part where the straps go. Now we are going to hem the bottom part of the top, which is also a tunnel through which the elastic will pass. Now we are going to introduce the 2 elastics. We open the pin at the end of the elastic and we are going to introduce it through the tunnel that we made. If you are going to use a larger elastic, you only have to give an extension to the blouse so that it folds larger and you place the elastic to the extent that you have. In our case, we chose a small one, especially because it was what the fabric allowed us to, but you can modify this pattern to your liking. Now what we are going to do so that the elastic does not escape is that we catch it in this way and we continue to pass it. But if you do not want to do this, you can help yourself with another safety pin. Now we are placing the elastic at the top, which would be where the straps go. Here we are going to stitch so that it does not come out of place. Once we have it like this, we continue running the safety pin. This is the right side that would be face up. We put the straps in the same direction and here we start sewing, and we would already have the strap attached to the top. We would already have prepared the back of our blouse. Now we'll go to the front. For the front, you have the option to make it simple or with lining, but having 2 bandanas, we decided to cover it with a lining. We are going to make the dart first. Here, if you want, you can use pins. Let's make the dart in this way. It would be a simple dart on the side. As you can see, it is very easy. As you can see, it will look like this. We are going to be sewing the 4 darts, those of the outside and those of the lining. We already have the 2 darts made. Now we are going to make the lining darts. Once we have all our darts done, we move to the iron. We are going to be turning the darts down, but we will be ironing it on the outside so that it looks more neat. We will do the same with the outside of the lining. We turn the dart down, but we finish ironing it on the outside. We'll help the fabric a little with our fingers. Now we are going to put the outside of the top upwards and we are going to face it with the right side of the back this way. Here we are going to be sewing the strap to the width of where we are going to sew. We will only be sewing both straps in this way. Now we are going to put the front of the top facing it with the right side of the top, and we are going to proceed to lining the entire blouse. Here, if you want, you can help yourself with pins so that it does not move out of place. We will do the same with the sides of the blouse. If you want, you can clear the ruffles a bit so that it looks cleaner when the machine is going to pass. and we start to sew the side to the front of the blouse. We already have it sewn to the side. We will do the same thing on the other side. Now we are going to start lining the blouse. We already have the sides and the straps sewn. Now we are going to face the lining with the right side of the blouse. And we're going to start sewing down the side like this. Now we are going to open it and we are going to make an internal backstitch seam above the lining as close as we can to the seam. Now we will do the same on the other side. We will be closing the armhole. Remember that you can always be guided by the notches indicated in the pattern. Now we are going to close what will be the upper part of the blouse. When lining in this way, no seams will be visible. At this point, we will already have the armhole and the upper part of the blouse lined. Now we are going to line the two sides of the blouse. We already closed the two sides. Now we are going to finish lining, but here we are going to leave an open space. Again, these measurements will be in the pattern. As you can see, we have two centers. We are going to leave a space of 1.5 inches on each side of the center to be able to turn the top inside out. In total, it will be 3 inches. Now we turn it inside out. Now this part where we have finished it, we are going to close it with a blind stitch. We close it a little more with the machine so that the hidden stitch is less than what needs to be sewn by hand, but this is optional. We wanted to make it easy, but it could also have been turned from the right side and that way it was hidden, but that made it a little more difficult for beginners. Anyways, if you want more sewing methods, you can let us know below in the comment section and we will gladly provide more for the channel. Now we are going to be closing this little piece with a hidden stitch. In our case, we use a single thread. We choose a fine needle. We thread the needle and we make a little knot at the tip. Let's insert the needle where you can't see or feel the knot that we made, and we take a pinch of each fabric and close it so that the seam is not visible. If you have other methods for this, feel free to let the community know below in the comment section. Again, we will be giving small pinches to each side of the fabric, to the lining fabric and to the main fabric. As you can see, this was where we closed it with a hidden stitch. Now we are going to iron the blouse to settle the seams from when we lined it. We will also be ironing the elastic and the top. We ironed the side and the armhole. And now, let's see the finished result. so much for watching the tutorial. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to let us know down below in the comment section, and we'll be more than glad to help you DIY this beautiful crop top. Subscribe for more sewing videos on our channel Sewing a Little, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!